Good morning, everyone. Monday, February 24th, 10 a.m. local time in Vancouver, BC, PDT, Pacific Daylight Time. We're back for another Abel Marketing Facebook Live with a third-time guest and a lady who is funny and positive and is also a brilliant copywriter. And the first clue should be those two little eyes on the microphone, which she initially had turned around, and I asked her to turn it this way because we want to be professional, but we also want to have some fun. So Susie Taylor, welcome back to the Abel Marketing Facebook Live. How are you?
Oh, I am great. Thanks for having me back, Ben. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for doing this. So let's get right into it because I've switched the screen around so that all the profile is on you. Because one of the things that I want to feature, and you told me before we started, was Stix, STIXN, Sticks and Stones. So tell me a little bit about the Sticks and Stones Facebook group. I'm going to drop it in the chat.
Okay, well, I started a blog called Sticks and Stones about, I'll say, 8 years ago, with the idea that I wanted to demonstrate how words matter and that they have power, and that we need to use them in a very specific way to use them for good. Well, then my oldest son passed away about almost 4 years ago. And after that, I kept thinking, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get out of bed, but I still have to. And I thought, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who don't want to do what they have to do on any specific given day. So that's why I started a Sticks and Stones Facebook group, because I wanted to give people positive messages, something that they could look forward to every morning, every evening. And it would be just a way to say, listen, I know life is tough, but here's something positive to think about. And ever since then, I've had something that comes out every morning and every evening that is basically something to make you think about something other than maybe the negative things in your life. So let's take a look at something positive and go from there.
Yeah, and I had forgotten about the blog because we talked about that on a previous live, didn't we? And I had forgotten how important the blog was too. I'm just going to see if I can search it.
It's been a while since I've posted anything there. So, but that will come again. I mean, I will start with that again soon.
Yeah, because I mean, it's pretty easy if you want to talk content marketing and content strategy to take the posts from a Facebook group and turn them into a blog post, or take the blog posts and turn them into a social media post, which is what people do all the time these days anyway. So that's a whole other content discussion that we could have. And we had a few topics to discuss. One of the other things that I found really interesting was, and we've talked about this before, was the World Referral Network and the upcoming event on the World Referral Network. It is the Mastery of 1000 networking event. And you and I had been room hosts in the past. That's how we first met, led us to doing Facebook Lives. And obviously, it's awesome for you to have you back for the third time. So maybe we can talk a little bit about the Mastery of 1000 too. Will I pull that up?
Sure. Well, it's the organizer, Sean Behrman, who is one of the founders of the World Referral Network. And her idea is, what if we could get all of our networking done in one 3-hour segment and meet all the people that you would need to meet in order to be able to schedule one-on-ones and get to know people and introduce yourself to other people all in one event. And that's what Mastery of Networking 1000 is all about, is taking some time to get to know people. It's a 3-hour event, and we have, I think it's 7 different breakout rooms. And it might sound a little weird in that some of our questions that we ask people to talk about are not necessarily networking types of questions. But
Right.
when you meet someone and you want to work with somebody, you want to make sure it's someone who resonates with you. And what better way to find someone who resonates with you than to find somebody who has the same dream of a dream vacation that you do, or
Right.
a fun way to think about what they would do if they had $1 million and they had to spend it in 24 hours. What would they spend it on? Um,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying that those are the exact questions that will come about this coming April 19th,
Right.
but those are the types of things that we ask, and it really prompts some good discussion and helps us get to know each other.
Yeah, and I think it's a really valuable thing to highlight a referral network. I mean, obviously, started in Vancouver where I live. We talked about that in the past. Um, we talked about monthly networking events for the World Referral Network, and those happened for a while, and they're still going on in the city of Vancouver. And I think I remember saying to you before too, it's different for you where you are in Ohio, and you can remind me of the exact city because you joined World Referral Network, and you're not in a city that I don't think yet has any World Referral Networking events in person. But a big part of the World Referral Network is to pass business and to network with like-minded business owners like yourself, um, and also get to know people, right? So, um, remind me where you live again, and if there's any networking events in person yet in your city.
I am near Columbus, Ohio, which is right
Right.
smack dab in the middle of the state, and we don't have any in-person WRN networking events here yet.
Right.
Um, but I've gotten so used since the pandemic. I've gotten so used to meeting people online and meeting people through
Yeah. Right.
platforms just like this,
Yeah.
that
Right.
you can develop some pretty good friendships and relationships with
Yeah. You
people,
can. You
business
can. You
relationships as
can.
well. Yeah. So I've been very fortunate to meet wonderful, wonderful people just like you
Thank you.
through the World Referral Network, and it is throughout the world. I mean, there are people in Africa and Europe and Asia who are all part of the World Referral Network, and a lot of Canadians, but that's understandable because it started
Right. Of
in
course. Of course.
BC. But we're getting some more folks from the U.S. and who knows? Maybe there will be some in-person networking in Columbus, Ohio, in the next year or so.
I think I guess it would be a lot of work for you, but the onus is probably on someone like you to start it just because of your involvement with World Referral Network and the things you're doing and being a room host in Mastery 1000, right? So I think you're the natural person that's going to be asked. I would think, just so people know, there's a number of World Referral Network events in the city of Vancouver, BC, Canada, from for those for wherever you're tuning in. And I'm part of a group that is on the North Shore in North Vancouver. It's a World Referral Network Wednesday morning meeting, and we meet at a local restaurant. We're there Wednesdays at 7 a.m., so it is early by some people's standards. So it gets you kicked right into gear. We also have a series of networking breakfasts Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at various parts of the Vancouver area, as well as a Tuesday afternoon networking event at a place called Granville Island at the Vancouver Fish House, which is Tuesday afternoons. There should be one tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, Susie, is what's happening in your business right now. What are you working on? What can people expect? What are people looking for? What are you offering? Like, what's going on, basically?
Well, I am in the process of trying to develop a program, a 5-week program,
Okay.
which will take people through the whole process of developing a lead magnet, writing
Awesome. Awesome.
a landing page, figuring out
Okay.
how to use that information for social media, and then writing email posts.
Excellent.
I'm
Right.
sorry, an email sequence. And by the time we're done with
Okay.
that 5-week program, they'll have something that they can offer to their folks. That will be starting at the beginning of April. I also
Awesome.
have another webinar coming up March 21st, which will be
Okay.
on uh, oh my goodness, the don't ever. My granny used to always say, "Don't ever get old." all on
Okay.
identifying your ideal clients and then how to
Excellent.
develop a message specifically for them. So that will be March 21st. So that
Okay.
information will be coming out. Um, and then I'm just working on getting things ready for Mastery of Networking. Right now, I'm working on a freebie that we're going to give away to people on how to master your elevator pitch, and
Which
that'll
is
be
tough.
one of the free things that gets sent out to people after they register. So, yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. And I just actually sharing some links in the chat here. So I did find it on Sean Behrman's LinkedIn page, and then it links to www.masteryofnetworking.com/1000. So there's it. And I'm going to share this video. There is the share of Sean's LinkedIn post. Mastery of 1000, Networking 1000, April 19th, 2025, 8 to 11 a.m. Pacific. I've been to 2 of these now. I've room hosted both times. I was at the event for Mastery of 1000. I think that was the first one, April of 2024, right
I
at
believe so. Yeah.
right at that time. It was like April 20th or April 19th. I'm hoping to be there, even if I can't stay for the whole thing if I'm working. But yeah, no. Is there anything else you want to highlight, Susie? Because it's pretty much all I have. We're going to wrap it up pretty soon, and I will share obviously Susie and I's live, and I'll share it in conjunction with some of these posts so people can have a look. Any other exciting things happening?
No, the only thing I guess the only thing is that there's a brand new second edition of Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller that was
Right,
released at
that
the
was the
beginning
other
of
thing.
January.
Okay.
And it basically takes the book that he wrote in 2017 and updates it for today, including information on using AI. And there's a whole new AI component to the Building a Story Brand
Okay.
framework. So and it's just storybrand.ai. So if that's something that you'd
Okay.
be interested in looking at, it's so some interesting stuff coming down the pike.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and it's all quite relevant. And I know in one of our previous discussions, the one back in November, we talked about building a story brand. I, like you, probably have an ever-growing list of books that I'm supposed to be reading in relation to my business, and
Oh yeah.
that just happens to be another one of those books. And then that's probably a book I take on vacation, and people are like, "What are you reading?" I'm like, "Well, I'm reading this book." Are you working? Well, yes, but no, I'm not really working, but I kind of am because I've always got all these things I want to learn, and I can't squeeze in all that time to learn. But yeah, so I've shared some links in the chat before we wrap it up. The Facebook group, Sticks and Stones, which is a private Facebook group, the Sticks and Stones website, the link to Sean's post, and the Mastery of Networking 1000. So let's just wrap it up there. Thank you, Susie. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for being
Oh,
positive.
thank you so much, Ben. I so enjoyed talking to you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Take care, Susie. We'll talk to you
You
soon.
too.
Bye.